All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the hotel room. Hope you guys are doing good. Keep in between the lines. Got your load secure. Sorry, I couldn't really give you guys a heads up. This was kind of last minute thing, man. But I definitely been wanting to do this for a while now. I got my brother, my man, my partner in crime, my wrestling, my tag team partner, man. You guys can catch us, by the way, on Wrestling Rehab. I'm talking about none other from the LA Times. One, Mr. Pablo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody out there, man?
What's going on, Pablo? How you doing, big dog?
I'm cool, bro. Just chilling, man. And yeah, man, it's always an honor to come on the Thecholotrucker show. Wait, were your ears ringing yesterday when me and Sonny were ripping on you yesterday? I don't know if you watched it, bro, but we were like ripping on you. It was good.
Man,
Very
you guys
fun.
went on like 2 hours, man.
It's fun, bro. We have to back each other's channels up, bro, and go on here and there. It's
Yeah, I reached out to him today, man. I'm like over there telling him, hey, man, it's cool that you're over there being a nerd, Holmes. You know what I mean? Do your
yeah.
thing. That's proud of that
Rodney
guy.
Dangerfield.
Yeah, exactly, man. What's up, Riverside? Droops, Lena, Lil Ray, Jesus was cracking, gente. Yeah, we're going to get into the topic at hand in just a bit. Just see if we could get a few people to jump on. Orle House of Tattoos, the biggest troll there is in YouTube, is on
That's right.
here.
That's right. He got all the
you
donkey sick.
know, yeah, you know what, man? To all the wrestling fans out there, Paul, Incredible Javier, and myself started a wrestling channel called Wrestling Rehab. You know you guys are junkies, wrestling junkies. That's why we had to start it, man. But
Yep. Yeah, we're passionate, bro. So it's something we love to do. We love to
oh
watch. We
man,
love to
no,
talk it.
I can't wait, man. I can't get like the dumb grin off my face, Holmes, just because I just love talking about it so much. And we're gonna be going live on that sucker pretty soon too, man.
Yeah.
But with that, you know what? I don't know if people really know, man. I I had quit YouTube back in early 2021. Paul, you reached out to me, and I was already kind of a fan of LA Times. I was already kind of watching. And speaking of WWE, I had seen a WWE Championship in your background, and I had commented and be like, "Hey, man, I like that belt."
That's right.
And Paul, you reached out to me. This just for anybody who doesn't know. Paul and I did not know each other. I had quit YouTube. To me, YouTube was just gonna be for the year 2020. I could not have foreseen, COVID hitting and everything that went down that year. But um, Paul reached out to me and he emailed me. He's all like, "Hey, man, kind of what's up, man? Want to invite you to the round table." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure, man. I'm already a fan of the show. And we talked on the phone. You kind of gave me the rundown, and here we are. Here we are. So many months or over a year and a half, whatever it is later, man. Still kicking and screaming, big dog.
Yeah.
And you, Paul, you got quite the story, man. And I'm not sure if many people know about it. They see you, the LA Times, are like, okay, what's this guy? Look at what he covers. But at the same time, he's wearing a SmackDown shirt, and he talks a lot about the Lord. Paul, let's get into to your testimony, God. And I'm not really sure if many people know about it. I heard it, but I'm not sure if many people know about it, man. Um, Share a little bit about with us. Some people, one thing just before we get started, there was one thing that was real cool, Holmes. Somebody had got at you talking about the people on the round table. This is back when the round table was on LA Times, and they told you, "Hey, it doesn't even seem like you guys uh, were ever gang members." And I remember you said, "You know what, brother? Thank you." They meant that as an insult, but you're like, "Thank you." And
Yeah, man.
I'm not really sure if people know what's up with you, Paul. So let's get started, man. Paul, obviously you grew up in the gang life. Whereabouts? What area?
Yeah, man. First, let me say this, man. I see people when they make videos, sometimes they'll mention LA Times, and they often wonder, like, they know me and they may even talk to me, but they're not sure about me. It's kind of like a mystery to some people, bro.
Mm.
You see, first and foremost, let me say this, bro. I won't give away the ending yet, but I'm gonna say that I'm a channel, bro, that who I am, like when you meet me live, that's who I am, bro. I'm not fake, and I want to know everybody to know that I'm not scared to mention the Lord at all, at all, zero. I'm not, because sometimes we shy away from that, and I think there's no other thing in life that you should know than where you're going to spend eternity. I think that's the most important thing. So I'm never going to shy away from the Lord. Now, I don't go preaching at people. I mean, you've hung out with me, Sonny, and I like to have fun, man. We talk wrestling, we talk Chicano stuff, you know what I mean? I'm just like any other person, you know? But I just want you guys to know that straight up. So when people say, is Paula a religious channel? And I often say to myself I don't consider myself religious. I believe I have a relationship with the Lord, you know?
Okay.
Religion to me kills. Religion's man-made. God is real. So, yeah, man. So wherever you want to get started, man, I'll start with my story. So just so you know, you guys hear it straight from me. That's kind of like my outlook on life.
I just want to 100% agree with you, man. It's not religious. It's the relationship.
Yeah, because if I was a religious person, or if you're a religious person, guaranteed, ain't no one gonna want to be around you. Like me and
Right.
Cholo been friends for about a year. Sonny, Joe, like we're just all real people, bro. We all have different perspective on things, and we could get along because it's just men being real and just having fun. And there's a lot of things that we have in common.
Mhm.
So it's pretty cool. What's up, Delbert?
Coach Dalbert's up in here, man. Oh, look at this. We got Pastor David up in here. What's up to Polite Scumbag, Remy and M? Everybody on here. Vanessa, always showing support. Love to see Vanessa around.
Polite, what's up, man? Pastor David, hello.
Yeah.
Riverside La Sierra, House of Tattoos, that's it, check. Travieso IRP, that's right, bro. Everybody in here. So I'll get started, bro, because you asked the
Yep.
question, bro.
Yes.
Just I grew up a pretty good kid, bro. My mom and dad didn't drink or smoke, but my dad was my stepdad. My dad had left. He was from Mexico. He was out here in the lowrider scene. As soon as was pregnant, my mom got pregnant. He took off. He bailed, right? So 3 years later, my mom had my stepdad in my life, but he was a little abusive, smacking me all the time. I mean, I should say real abusive, not sexually, but physically. Where that just pent up and built up and built up, bro, over the years. And when I started going to junior high, you start finding your friends who are going to be more life friends, and before you know it, you're ditching and whatever. And you see the influences in the hood, you see the influences in the neighborhood. At that time, the mini trucks were starting, and stuff like that. And so here's these guys accepting me unconditionally, friends. We're all in junior high together, and then we see the gangsters driving by with the cars, and supposedly they're living the good life, but they were poor just like us. But I just kept at home. That it was just go home, and it was just abuse. It was just abuse, man.
Okay.
And one thing led to another, man. It just my dad started pushing me too far, my stepdad, and started going. And I'm getting bigger. I'm like 13, 14 or something like that, and getting taller, starting to like hate it, building up pension, dude. I was such a firecracker now, and I had gotten good grades, bro. I was an A student, maybe some B's, but I was in the where all my the other raza was in the special needs classes or the ESL. I was in the classes with the gabachos and the chinos. I was pretty intelligent guy, and according to that world. But then I just got pent up, and one day he started just going off again, and I'm talking, he used to use a lot of things to hit me with. I mean, I'm not just talking the chancla, bro. So some bad stuff. So one day he basically comes at me. He's beating me down, and basically that's it, man. I had enough, and I picked up those. There's like these wood things you have in the kitchen that has like 10 knives in them. I
Oh
picked,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
picked
Where,
up,
where you store them at?
yeah. So I
Yeah.
picked up the biggest knife. I picked up the biggest knife, and I'm like 14, 15. I don't remember, bro. So I went chasing after him with the knife, and he started running. And right when I was about to catch him, I don't know if there's just like these square fans that go on the floor, have low, medium, high. Well, anyways, when I was about to catch up to him, he basically lifted up the fan. He lifted up the fan to block the knife, and the knife hit the fan, and he went running out the door. And whatever, I'm gonna kill you, and this and that. And I meant to kill him. I got sick of it, bro. It was just like, I was already on the streets. I was already doing dumb stuff, I was already hurting people. But back home, you got to respect your father,
Yeah.
You're supposed to respect them according to Chicano culture. But he had just pushed me and a little too far, bro. And then, so here I am, whatever. And my mom's crying. And then all of a sudden, I'm taking the juvenile hall, taking the juvenile hall and, going there and then it ends up, man, hey, I went to court and everybody's like getting out and I'm like, I'm going to get out. And my dad showed up to court and the DA basically said, nah, man, we can't let him out. Because sometimes if you're a kid, if the parents say, okay, they'll let you out. And he basically gave some words to the DA not to let me out. So I stayed in there. They sent me out to a camp, did my time in the mountains. And that was the first time that I went up, got busted. Was for assault with a deadly weapon and all that stuff. And, as a juvenile. And, so went up there. But, once they have you on probation, that's it. You're stuck. They got you for 3 years. And if you're already messing around, you're already in the cops' radar. That's it, man. So that's kind of the first time, Cholo. I'll stop right there if you want to ask anything.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, man. You said he was abusive to you. Did he put hands on your mom too? Was he abusive to her?
Nah, not at all. Not at all, bro. Or my brother and sister who were his real kids. I was a step kid, bro.
Okay. Are you the only child from your actual biological dad?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. But you have two siblings?
Yes.
All right. Was there anything, were you guys close? I mean, did you guys see each other as like step, sibling, or did you guys just see yourself? Because you guys lived together.
To me, he was dad. To me, he was dad, bro.
Okay.
To me, he was dad, but apparently, at least at the time, he didn't look at me as dad. Now, let me say this though: when I was up doing my time, it was cool, man. I mean, there was a place called. I mean, it wasn't cool, but if you're gonna do time, this is a place to go. It was a place called Los Pinos. It was called Los Pinos, and it's up in the mountains in Ortega Highway, like in Lake Elsinore. It snows there. You're up in the mountains, bro. Dude, deer, mountain lion, all that stuff, right? So, but he came to visit me there. Now, let me say this: since that day, when I did that, his whole countenance changed. We got along great. We got along great from that day on. So there was no more abuse. I was too big, and I think he got that message. If I mess with this guy, something's gonna happen. But it wasn't even like that, bro. It was a good relationship, bro. After that, so
Okay.
I didn't come back for revenge on him. The abuse ended, but I think all that pent up, just getting beat and getting slapped, and even as a little kid, like 5 years old, getting slapped across the face, and just all that stuff, just made me, an angry person, bro. And so I grew up very angry, and I ended up taking it out on a lot of people. That's what was up.
Yeah. What's up, Andres? Vic Med, what's going on, homie? I said Benny, Faith Ford, Pomono Soul Sounds is up in here. What about your mom? Did she do anything about this? Did she notice that you were getting beat? Was he doing it behind your back?
She had her share too. She had her share it too in there of getting me too,
Okay.
bro. I ain't gonna say it was just him, but it was mostly him. It was mostly him. Yeah. But don't get me wrong. I say that was then. This is now. My mom's a beautiful person. She's great. Growing up and getting beat in these years is not. It's not like I was in the gang banging years. 5 years old. When you're 6, 7, 8. It just It's just he didn't know how to discipline. He wasn't taught by his parents, and that's why we got to break the cycles, right? We got to do better with our kids, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's for damn sure. So you get busted as a juvenile. He comes visits you. The relationship changes. How soon after do you get out, man? I mean, how are you spending your entire teen years in there, or
no man, no, because thankfully I didn't get him. That fan saved him, bro. That fan
okay,
saved him because he was done. You know, he was done. By that time, I had hurt a lot of people, bro. Me
okay,
and my friends had hurt a lot of people, and it's part of the life, right? You lived it. And
yeah,
then little juvenile hall things, but then as soon as I turned 18, it was all about going to the county jail. And see, one thing that I had instilled in me was respect for my older homies. I don't know why. I always had that. Respect the older homies. We come from an area where we had a gang here since like the 1940s. It's
mhm,
an old neighborhood right there off Whittier Boulevard. Where LA meets Orange County, and so I always had respect. So as soon as I got to the county jail, all the shot callers, and back then there were some shot callers, some famous ones that you hear in they're passed away now, but you hear, if I said the names, you would know them.
mhm,
And so I would always respect them, and they would like me, even though I was a youngster. And in the county jail, I was involved in just a lot of stuff, bro. I was always new kind of the shot callers.
mhm.
So I would be involved in a lot of stuff, bro. A lot of stuff. And just, let me tell you one thing that, so I'm probably about 18. And, one of the shot caller for the whole jail, right? For the
Mhm.
whole jail. In fact, this guy sometimes ran all of Orange County when somebody was gone to prison. Um, they sent a message and they said, "Hey, we want you guys to take this guy out. Take him out." They sent us a letter from high power. Take this guy out. This and that. And I didn't know. I'm 18, bro. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really know shot callers, right? This and that. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't know who it was. And so what happens when this note came to take this guy out? So we get it, and me and this vato, I'll say his name is Silos just for short. We go and we waited a few days, and we're going to chow, and messages were coming. Take care of this vato. Take care of this vato. And if I said his name, bro, this vato, so many people would know him.
Yeah.
So many people would know who this vato was. So this vato was a shot caller, and I didn't know. All I know, we got to do something.
Mhm.
So we went in, we took care of this vato, took care of him. He didn't die, he didn't die. So, or I wouldn't be talking about it, right? He didn't die, got out. But see, by that one thing, being at 18, I gained so much respect from so many people because I didn't know who that vato was.
Mhm.
But all I know from somebody bigger than that guy had to go. So that right away started going before me. And from there, anywhere I went, I kind of had like, I was okay. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
kind of had like a smooth ride. And stuff like that continued, bro. Continued on and on, but I'll stop there in case you want to ask anything or
Yeah, no, I could pretty much I relate to what you're saying. Probably not to that magnitude, but I remember being busted in the downtown Men's Central Jail when I was 18. And look, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been a juvenile hall, but once I went there, it's kind of a scary feeling, man. You're still a kid.
yeah,
Yeah. It's crazy when I look back today at my sons. My youngest one just turned 18, and I'm like, hey, man, you're still a kid, man. You're still a kid, but yeah, you're expected to do so much, and I definitely understand the respect of the older homies, man. At least for me, I always wanted to impress them. I always was seeking their approval. Them telling me, "Hey, you did good, youngster," or something like that was always just that great feeling. Like I'm doing the right thing. That was my feeling. Like I'm doing right. That I know, man, I was kind of just digging myself deeper. But
yeah, totally.
so from there, Paul, you end up going to the Pinta, homie.
Yeah, man. There was so much stuff going on, bro. This is a trip. I've been stabbed 2 times, bro. Right?
Mhm.
Stabbed two, not in the joint, just outside, out here, dumb stuff, right? Gang banging, whatever. But every one of my friends around me, bro, has been shot, some multiple times. I'm the only one of my close type friends who were the main guys in the hood who never got shot. It was a trip. I've been shot at so many times, Cholo. So many times I can't, shot at. Um, so basically, one day, and I've told this on 23 and 1, is that one day I was kicking back and my homie was drunk. And he comes on here sometimes. He might even be on here right now, but a couple of them actually. And basically, there was a guy who had a rat label in our neighborhood. He was from my gang. He had a rat label, but it wasn't true. Because back in the day, you could make fake paperwork, bro. It was all written out by the cops, so you could erase it and put whatever you want in there and make fake paperwork, bro. So somebody had did that to this vato. So he had a rat label. So my homie, and I've said his name before on here. He basically, the supposed rat guy drove by, and my homie called him a rat when he was driving by. My homie was drunk, and so basically, the rat guy, he wasn't a rat. He was down for his, bro. He was in my inner circle, but now he was out because he had a rat jacket.
Mhm.
We stopped, pulled over. In the back of his truck, he had a shotgun, and he was going to shoot my homie, shoot him in the chest with the shotgun. But a neighbor happened to be across the street who was taking all these little kids, his daughter's friends, to the drive-in, packing them in the back of the truck. And so basically, he went out, ran out, caught the guy who they were calling rat, which is not a rat. They caught him, and they were fighting for the shotgun. And then so one of my homeboys had a 357, right? 357. The name of the 357, this one particular, I remember we called it Mary Lou, long barrel 357. And basically, he pointed it at the rat guy who was trying to shoot my homie. Pointed it at his head, and the rat guy, he knew this guy wasn't going to shoot him. He didn't know he knew he didn't have the heart. So whatever. So I knew I had to take action, and I had just got there, bro. Everybody was drunk there. I had just got there at that moment. So I took the gun away from my homie, the 357 Mary Lou, and I pointed it to the guy's head, like put it right here, drop the gun or I'm going to blow your head off. And we had hollow points in there, it would have splattered through his head, And
Right.
gun in his head, and basically he knew I would shoot him. We had done stuff together. He knew that I was a real deal, and he dropped the gun. He was scared, and to me, because I was the only one sober there, I thought I defused the situation. I was telling my home, okay, go, get out of here. And basically my homeboys were drunk, and they kept calling him rat, and the rat guy managed to run in the house. And he came out, dude. I'm talking like he came out like Rambo, bro. He had an AK or an AR, and he just started going to town. And I was able to drag my homie. Behind the truck. And unfortunately, we didn't know that was the truck that had all the little kids in it that were going to the drive-in. So he came out and he just started spraying. Just started spraying at us, and we're behind the truck. And like at the time, not knowing, like afterwards, we knew the kids were there, right? But so we're behind the truck, and then I couldn't get a shot because he kept shooting, He kept shooting. And then the shotgun that he had, his brother picked it up, so he's shooting from one angle, and we're pinned down behind the truck. I couldn't get a shot to get him, and my homie he opens the door. We're on this side of the truck. My homie opens the door so I could get a shot to shoot him. And when he opened the door, he got shot in the chest, He got shot in the chest, and basically, so he's right there and pretty much bleeding. I'm telling him, hold on. And then, so I'm trying to get a shot, and I go through and I shoot, and then I see him inside the house. He wasn't on the porch no more. The rat guy, I see him and I shoot. And so he comes out again, and he had more bullets, bro. He just came out and started going to town. At that time, my other homeboy saving all the little kids that were, saving all the little kids that were back in the truck, pulling them out. And he's still trying to get me, bro. And all of a sudden, So I'm going to go over because the truck had a camper in the back.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going over to go get another shot at him to shoot him. And all of a sudden, all this glass breaks in my face, bro. And I fall on the floor and I drop the gun. And I thought I got shot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I got shot, but really the bullet just went by my head, right? And then all of a sudden, I come to my senses. So I'm in a gunfight, right? With the guy with an AK and another guy with the shotgun. So basically, I start picking up to go again. Dude, this has gone on so long that now the cops are running down the street. It's a hill. Their cops are starting to come, and I go, oh, man. I told my homie, I go, stay alive. Stay alive. And so basically, I took off to the railroad tracks, came around, ran back in my homie's house, and I guess people saw me in there. SWAT team came and whatever. I didn't want to give up when the SWAT team. I didn't want to give up. I don't know why, dude. I thought they would beat the SWAT team. I was telling the people in the house, I ain't going out there. And they were sending messages in that they're going to kill me.
Yeah.
They're going to kill me. So it ends up, they were like at every window and the trees, everything. And basically, so got busted for that. That was my first time to prison. They had took me to the police station and they had basically said, hey, you're home. They basically said that my friend, who got shot next to me, that he died. Mm-hmm. We know that you killed him. They're blaming me on the murder, right? They're blaming me on the murder and saying that I killed him. And basically, sorry, they're trying to turn down the phone. So basically, they're telling me that I murdered him and trying to get me to talk. And I would just always, when I went to the police station, it was like, I don't talk, right? So anyways, so I go to my cell and I'm thinking, man, my homie's dead, this and that, bro. So it all ends up, I didn't say nothing to them. I just said, okay, he's dead. Okay. That's all I said. And, and then basically the cops were lying, bro. He didn't die. Oh. Well, on a technicality, he did die there. He did die. I mean, they brought him back. But, when you're being interrogated, the cops could lie, bro. They could lie and say whatever we want because they thought I was going to break down. So that was my first time to prison. I forgot how long we were given, man. But that was my first time, first time to the joint. And I should have been there a lot of other times, bro. But, so from there, did you want to ask anything before I?
I think there's many people that should have been there plenty of times, man.
Yeah.
that it's crazy. You get busted and it's like, man, I got busted for this and not for that, because so many other things. It's very, very rare that people get busted for the first crime. Usually you got a nice little rap sheet that you never got busted for, man, and then you ended up getting caught, and then bam, there it is, dog. So all right, man. So you're in there, you still don't give your life to God, do you? Is it the first time, second time? What's going on, man? So you get in there, you're in the program.
Well, this is I go in there, and then the first time I went to the joint, the worst prison I've ever been to was Chino Prison, bro. Okay. Chino Prison is so dirty and ugly and smelly, and at that time it was just all the history there, right? Where Cheyenne got murdered and everything.
Yeah.
Whatever. Went through there, bro, and then they sent me up to everybody else is going to these prisons, right? These little prisons, and I'm like 19 now or something after fighting the case for a while, and they basically like everybody else is going to like, I don't know, cheap little prisons, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going over here. And then so I get this weird prison I never heard of. They're all DVI. DVI, what the heck is DVI? And I'm telling people, nobody knows. Then I go to the older homies, like, they start laughing at me. You're going to gladiator school, bro. They're sending you to the gladiator school. And I was like, oh man. And mind you, this is the 80s, right? Mm. So basically, the joke is when you get there, put magazines around you, all around inside your shirt, bro, because it's on once you get there, okay. It's on. So I get there, bro, and then I'm okay. And I'm also thinking to myself, hey, what's a norteño? Like, what's he look like? What's a norteño look like? And whatever. All these things in my mind, right? Because I knew that's who they were talking about it's going to be on with. Mm-hmm. And then so I went there and got there and I had homies there. I had homeboys from my neighborhood there, you know. So it was interesting. And one of my homie's sons was running the yard there. So it was kind of like just, you know, as far as prison goes, it was I was living the best you can do in prison, you know.
The best scenario possible.
Yeah, best scenario possible. Tracy's an older yard, and at the time it was a southern prison, you know, it was predominantly southern. And then you know, for the northerners, you know, at that time, you know, most of them had like a lot of them had long hair, a lot of them had tails, you know, so very distinct, bro, very distinct. And then most of the drama and chisme though was between people from different cars, you know, because you would think LA sticks together.
Right.
LA does not stick together. LA breaks up into areas, bro.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So,
I don't think people realize that, man. Yeah. And I've pointed that out. And not just, you know, when you're locked up, but in the outside, you know, you get the harbor area, you get San Fernando Valle, you get the SGV, you got the east side, you got the southeast, you got the northeast, Nella, Sela, you know, you got these different areas, man. It's not just boom all together. So yeah, definitely. And I can kind of get what you're saying, man, of what you're saying. Like, hey, man, a lot of cheese went on, you know, with different cars and stuff. So okay.
Yeah, it was like that, bro. And so like let's say the 18th Street car, they might be their own car. Then you have the SGV car, they might have about, you know, 10, 15 guys on each yard. And then you got the East LA car, you know, the Maravilla car. They're even breaking up within then, you know, South Central, the Harbor area, San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
And then you got like Orange County, IE. Like Orange County will stick together. San Diego will stick together. IE will stick. They're all one, but LA's not that way. If they were one, man, there would be such a powerhouse. So every car has about the same amount of people. It's a trip, man. And so I went through there. You know, I think I said this before. Smiley from Hard Times on Hard Intentions. He was there. He was my next door Sally, and I always say it every story. So sorry. He's the one that got me into Metallica. He was the one that passed me over CDs. Him and his Sally Keith. They gave me Aerosmith. It's CD tapes. I think it was cassettes back then. I'm not sure, but lent us a radio. And then yeah, man, it was a trip, man. It was a trip. And quick story, bro. Quick story. See, when I started doing time, they used to separate the guys who had AIDS. I don't think they do that no more. If you had AIDS, if you would go to Chino, East Yard, there was an AIDS yard. It would be behind the fence, and you would see the people who had AIDS behind there, right? And so, but what happened, sometimes they would make it through. So there was a norteño who came from, because half of Tracy is a northern reception center where the norteños go. Sometimes they just bring them right over to the mainline yard. There was an norteño that came over, bro, and they still haven't found out that he had AIDS, right? And he basically came over with a clavo, which is a clavo is like a lot of drugs, and he started slamming heroin in his arm, but he started slamming with everybody, norteños and sureños. There's a rumor that norteños don't do heroin, bro. Every norteño there practically was doing heroin, bro. I mean, the older guys. So basically, all these guys are slamming together, norteños, sureños, and they're all getting high all the time. And next thing you know, they pull this guy out for having AIDS, bro, you know? And it's just like, so here's all these people, bro, Southerners and Northerners slamming with them. And, you know, to this day, you don't know. You don't know what happens, you know?
Yeah, so, the drug took over, man.
Yeah. So the normal stuff, you know, the prison stories, just like everything else, you know, stuff happens. And then, so basically after that, I do a few years there. Went to the hole a few times, you know, and then basically I got out for 3 days, bro. Got out for 3 days, and man, came back, bro. I sent right back to Tracy, right?
Wait, so you got out and you were only out for 3 days?
Yeah, I was only out for 3 days, bro.
Wow.
Got out for 3 days. And you know, it's so long ago, I don't remember what I went back for. I think it was a gun charge. You know, I think it was a gun charge because I have a few, you know, attempted 187s on my jacket. So basically,
you just treated it like a vacation, didn't you? Like, oh, I'm going off on vacation for a 3-day little weekend, man, and I'll be back.
Yes, Rich, this is live. But so basically, this is a bad part. This is a bad part with me. Some people are like this, bro. When I would get arrested, I've been arrested so many times. When I would get arrested, like a thing would go off, like a light switch in my mind. I would just know to change my mind to I'm in jail now. This is home. This is home, and I wouldn't trip on the streets, really, So I would set myself that way. So I went back and had a norteño, had a riot with the norteños, and a bunch of stuff, man. And you can hear that in one of my stories. I don't want to get into that so much because it's kind of like supposed to be my testimony.
Right.
So, anyways, after these years and years of doing time, right, I'm getting time to get released again. So I go get released, and I'm doing good, bro. As far as I thought. Mitch Smiley, I believe it was 88, 89, something like that, around that time, I would say. But yeah, man. So I basically got out, and I was still in the mix. I still had a lot of pull in the neighborhood. I was part of those whole gang meetings in Santa Ana. I was part of that whole thing. I was part in more ways than one, bro. I was part of that, and there's a lot of stories. I had a lot of friends in high places.
The football meeting and all.
Oh, not the one in LA, but the ones in Orange County. The ones in Orange County. So, so I knew a lot of people. Put it that way. I could tell a lot of stories, bro, but I choose kind of not to on my channel. But so, anyways, I'm at home. I'm going to college, bro. I'm going to college, and I'm doing good. And basically, one day the cops hit my pad, and they hit my pad so many times. They hit my pad, and when I mean hit, they come in with a search warrant, whatever. They at least 10 times, over my life, they'd hit my house. So basically, they come, they handcuff me to the chair, they handcuff my mom, they handcuff my little brother, and basically they take me away. They take me away. No, I overhear the cops saying, "We have the suspect." And I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about, suspect? What's going on? What do you mean suspect?" I knew I didn't do nothing, bro. At least nothing that they could trace, right?
Right.
So I was like, "What's going on?" And next thing you know, they're taking me, and they're like, "You know what we got you for?" I'm like, what? So I was, dude. So anyways, they take me to jail, and they said that I pulled out a gun at a high school on somebody and threatened to fight the narc. You know how they have narcs that work with the cops?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and basically he's kind of like a junior cop or a wannabe cop. So
I haven't heard that term in a long time, narc. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm old, bro. Hey, so basically they said that I pulled out a gun on them, and I said the name of this gang, Tiny Locos, right? I'm not from a gang called Tiny Locos. And at that time I weighed about 220, right?
Okay.
The dude who did it weighed like 160, bro. So totally different body, totally different everything, right? So basically, I'm in jail, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know who did this. What am I busted for? It definitely wasn't me. And I'm looking at, so I go to court, and I'm thinking, dude, this paperwork, this is not me. This doesn't match. Different. Dude, I'm like 60 pounds heavier than what this guy said. It's not from my gang, and the cops know this. And so basically, I'm taking to Chino. Because I guess the DA is getting their paperwork ready or their case built. But I'm already on parole, so they take me to Chino for a violation, and you have a violation hearing. So what the violation hearing, if you fight it, you go to a parole board, and basically it's a setup. You're always going to lose, right? The parole board comes in, and they bring witnesses. And basically, so I'm handcuffed outside of the parole hearing. They have me handcuffed to these benches. The cop walks by, and he starts laughing at me, bro. And he starts saying, "We got you so good." Like, just admitting, bro, that they set me up, bro. And the reason was, bro, because, I was one of the gang leaders, right?
Yeah.
When I would come out, stuff would happen. They wanted to get me on. This is back then, bro. And so I'm like, okay. He starts mocking me and laughing at me. He walks in the room, bro. So I go in, and he testifies against me. He's like, "Yeah, it was him, this and that." Not that he was there, but People said it was me. And then the narc comes, the narc from the high school. He's all, yeah, this guy, it's him. He points right at me, dude. And I'm like, I'm cussing. I'm trying to get out of the chair. You're lying. I was so mad, dude. So basically from that point on, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, we recording.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We're not going to miss a second, man.
So anyways, so I go to, so that from that point, my goal was to kill that cop. That was my goal.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
That's the one, bro. Because you basically admitted they set me up outside the thing. He was mocking me and just whatever, bro. They knew it wasn't me, bro. They knew it wasn't me, but they were just wanted to get me off the streets. So basically, I get sentenced again, and this time I think they gave me like 5 years or something like that. See, back then, bro, there wasn't all this mandatory sentences. There was 3 strikes, right?
Yeah.
But right now people are getting a lot more time, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But they didn't have a case. They didn't have a case. They knew if I took it to court, I would have won. But what do, dude? Do you take the 5 years, or do you fight it and possibly get life with all your priors? Do you fight it and possibly get 40 years? So would you rather do 5 years or 40 years? So I take it, and I'm mad more than I've ever been. I'm plotting every day how I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to kill him. 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 And by this time, bro, and I'm going over a lot. I've been busted so many times, bro. I'm talking so many times. I'm talking as a juvenile, as the county, the prison. I've been busted like, my rap sheet's pretty long, put it that way. So basically, so I'm sent to Corcoran this time, right? Corcoran, it was a lot of bad stuff going on with Corcoran and the guards, bro. Corcoran was probably the place that was having the most, stuff going on, the most murders, all that stuff. So I get to Corcoran, and when we're getting off the bus, we get searched. They see one of my tattoos, right? And there's different levels in prison. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and basically add SAG and whatever, bro. The whole whatever, right? So when they're searching me, they see that one of my tattoos, and they think it's affiliated with the mob, right?
Okay.
Affiliated with the mob, and it kind of is affiliated with the mob, but I was never a mobster, right? So I was heading that way, put it that way. But this tattoo, they saw it as affiliated with the mob. So I saw it more as a cultural thing, yet I knew what it was, right? So basically, they took me to level 4. And level 4 in Corcoran, and that's where like everybody is, right? At that time. And I forgot if it was 4A or 4B yard. And basically, so I'm there, and I have a homie there. Calacas from Santana. And basically, he's bringing me, I get done up, shower shoes, little soups, coffee, all that stuff, pass it over and whatever. But I start fighting that thing. I start fighting this placement in level 4, right? The reason I started fighting it because I paroled from a mainline yard, and they had me locked down in level 4. A mainline level 3, and now they had me down in a level 4, right?
Gotcha.
And I shouldn't have been there, so I start fighting it. I start fighting it, doing the appeals, right? And whatever. So anyways, I end up winning my appeal. And I end up going, and they end up moving me to the level 3 yard, which is a level 3C. And this is old Corcoran back in the day. I don't even think the new one even existed yet, or so. Maybe they were building it.
Well, around what year are we talking about?
We're probably talking about 92.
Okay.
92, around there. Around the time of the gang meetings. Around that time. The gang meetings now. So I'm right there, and I get over there to the level 3 yard, and I have a homie there, and he was in there for a murder from my neighborhood, and so I'm basically there, and then the guy running the yard was leaving, right? Was leaving, and he was a guy named Solomon. He was from Anaheim. He got murdered. He got murdered in the prison by the guards, and later. But basically, he was going home, so he knew me already. He knew my rep, and he said, "I want you to take over, right?" And I said, "I ain't me, bro. I don't want to, when you take over, bro, when you're running something, you get kites dropped on you, people drop lines on you, they do whatever. So it wasn't my thing. So my thing was, you know what? I'm gonna hold it down until someone comes. I didn't want that, bro, because I was short timing 5 years, bro.
Yeah.
When you're in that position, bro, if you have to call a shot and somebody gets hurt, you could be in there for a lot of years. So, anyways, so I take control of this thing, and you know, I'm doing my thing, bro. I'm doing my thing. I'm living okay. I got my homeboy as a Sally, and you know, back in this time, I wasn't this big. I was working out and doing all that stuff and plotting and all that stuff, bro. So, anyways, we're in the yard. It's going good. You know, when we got there was supposed to be some stuff going down, but it never went down with the blacks, right? Never went down, and you know, the yard was like stuff would happen, people would get killed, but it was like more personal, you know. Like as soon as I got there, dude, there was a black dude who stabbed a black dude was about 2 days from going home.
Damn
He
it.
stabbed another black dude in the heart. And he stabbed the black guy in the heart, and then black guy just stood up and said, "Is that all you got?" And he fell down and died. You know, both these guys were short timing. You know, just little stuff like that. And that's not little, but you know what I mean? It was a lot of personal stuff. Because
in-house. It was in-house stuff.
Yeah, and they didn't really have too many norteños there, you know. It was more of a southern yard, you know. And there was a guy there too, and I'll there's a reason I'm bringing this up. He was a shot caller. He was a big guy, and he was from LA. And he was a Christian at one time, but he backslid or whatever, you know. And now he's just one of the regular guys in the yard. And I'll save that for later, why I'm going to bring that up. But anyways, as time goes on, well, my first thing on the yard, my first call, bro, was to basically, I had everybody in my car go out and make a knife. Everyone had to go make a knife. Okay. That was my thing. Everybody make a knife, even me and my homie. So everybody had to go make a knife, and so we did that. Everybody went to their cell and dude, grinding steel, dude, it takes forever, bro, in the cement. So you're doing that, and not that anything was happening. It's just I wanted us to be ready. So we had knives in the yard and whatever. And then you know, another thing happened. So that was my first thing I did. That was my first action that I did. I just wanted to be sure that we weren't caught slipping. The second thing I did was there was mandatory yard. You know, when stuff's going down or stuff's in the air, you say, hey, you have to come out. And there was basically a guy, and you know, this people will put it down who it is, but there was a guy who basically didn't come out. So basically, I go, where is he? Oh, he's in there. You know, this guy liked to sleep. So there was a homie from Anaheim. Say, hey, you want me to go in there, tax him up, right? Want me to go in there and tax him up? So yeah. So I go, yeah, go in there and tax. So we had to sneak in another building, bro. Sneak in another building, go in there, go in his cell and tax him up, right? Okay. Now basically, so this guy comes out. And he basically he comes out all knotted up and who did that? Who called that shot? And I did. You know, I'm gonna tell my homie. You know, his homeboy was a big homie. You know.
Okay.
His homie was a big homie, but you know, I also had big homies behind me, right? So it was one of those things where he could make a phone call and that big homie could say something, but I got some behind me too. So, anyways, it was that situations like that, man, that you could get in that could get you in trouble. And the guy who got tossed up came up, apologized. I'm sorry, I'm not going to call him and this and that. Because around that time, that homie, he was from OC, got put as no good, you know, put as no good. So it was about that time. And yeah. So anyways, so just stuff like that, bro. A bunch of, so what it is, bro, is that when you're in charge, you got everybody's problems are yours. You got your own problems, your own stress. And remember, I wanted to kill that cop. And then you got everybody else's problems, little bitter things. Oh, so-and-so didn't pay me $20. And, you know, this vato's talking behind this. You know, it's just like little chismes, bro.
Right.
Politics that don't matter. And it's just like, dude, chill. And so everything is your problem, bro.
Right.
So anyways, Now, after a while, year or two, uh, some other guy drives up. Remember when I told you at the beginning of the story that we had beat down a shot caller and
Yeah.
in the county jail, you know? Well,
Mhm.
the guy who I was with, who we took care of that guy, he drives up. No,
Okay.
not the guy we we got the thing on, but the guy
No,
that
you're trying me to do that.
my
Yeah.
crimey, dude, he drives up. So he at the time back then he had more pull than me back
Mhm.
then, but maybe not now that he drove up. So I'm trying, hey homie, but I know he's respected, and I told him, hey, you want to take the yard? You want to take the yard, bro? I want to pass it on, bro, because I don't, I was to me it was temporary, right? So basically, he goes, Charlie, man, why don't we just chill and kind of like, almost like nobody has it. Let's just kind of do a group thing right now, And
Okay.
'cause I don't want that, bro. I don't want that, and and then so everything's going good, bro. There's no war on the yard. There's nothing. There's no war, nada on the yard. There's no with us anyway, right?
Mhm.
There's no tension. There's no fighting. So this is a time of kind of like peace, which comes every once in a while.
Mhm.
So me and what happens? They used to have girls at church that would come. They would come sing. They were all Pentecostal, yelling and screaming, right? But those were the only girls we seen, right? So
Mhm.
me and my homie, who's a homie from my neighborhood, hey, let's go to church. It's at nighttime, so we go. You walk over there and you go to church, and sometimes they might even have people from another yard there. So basically, we're doing okay on time.
Yeah, yeah, we're good. We're good. Handle, man.
Okay, okay. So basically, we're going to see the girls, and what happened is we didn't know that. What's up, Artie? We didn't know that God kind of did a switcheroo on us, bro. So what happened is, they were talking. We were going to go see the girls, but God had other plans, right?
Okay. Okay.
So we went there, and I felt like when they did the altar call at the end to go receive God, I
Mhm.
felt like going up, and so I didn't say nothing, but it felt like it was a magnet, like drawing me, bro. And then this guy, my homie, my celly, when we got back, and I go, and he used to read the Bible all the time, bro. Every day he
Okay.
would read the Bible. I'll never read the Bible.
Uh-huh.
And basically, I go, you know what, bro? I'm gonna tell you something. I go, I felt like going up to the altar, bro. And he goes, so did I. He goes, so did I, bro. I felt like going up, and I go, hey, bro, next week, let's go. Let's go up, man. And
Mhm.
you got to think about where we're at, bro. We're in
Yeah,
corporate prison. We're
that's
in corporate
that's
prison.
quite the place to be in, and quite the position to be in, man. So you guys are sharing this a little bit back and forth, like,
Yeah,
hey, man, you know what? Almost like I'm confessing something to you, right? But
yeah,
I'm confiding in you to let you know that I don't really want this to be out there. Like, hey, I kind of felt it, Holmes. I kind of felt like going up there.
yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
so all right, man. So he reads the Bible. Were you just to backtrack a little bit? Were you guys ever a church family at all? Did you guys ever go to church when you were a kid at all?
Charlie, just like the Catholic Church, and
Okay.
not really, bro. We would go to church, and it was we'd go to church to see friends, like at the Catholic Church. So
Okay.
so
Gotcha.
basically, what happens is he wanted, he said, yeah, let's go up. But what happened, bro? The next day, now mind you, my aunt had been writing me these letters, bro. I don't know
Mm.
if you guys remember. There's this place in Chino or Ontario. They have like these chick tracts. They're like gospel messages, like little cartoons, man. And like this was your life or something like that. And she used to mail them to me, and I was like, oh man, I used to hate it, right?
Mm.
So, anyways, she I so the next morning comes, and I'm thinking, okay, next week we'll go up, And mind you, like here's the shot caller, right?
Yeah.
Here's the guy with all the knives. All those knives are still in the yard, right?
Uh-huh.
All those knives are still in the yard. So basically, next morning I get up. My Sally goes to work, or I don't think it was work. I think it was prison industries or something. It's like a full day's work, bro. You go and I don't know,
Mm.
make license plate I don't know what they do. I forget, bro. Machine shop. So, anyways, I get up and I just felt like God was telling me, dude, lay it down, lay it down, lay it down. And I can't explain it. Like something was speaking to my heart, bro. Like lay it down. I got a plan for your life. And so you know what I did, bro? I don't know. I can't explain how it was coming to my mind. I just felt that. I got down on my knees, my knees in my cell, and I prayed to God. And I said, God, I go, here I am. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you're real or what. But I should say before that, I shook. When I was in Tracy, I studied Scientology. I studied Islam. I studied Jehovah's Witness. I studied all these religions. And it just didn't have it. But now something outside of that was coming to me. So I went down on my knees. This is Corcoran Prison. I think it was 1994, I believe, June 20th, I believe, or something like that. 1994 or 93, I'm not even sure. So I get down on my knees and I say that to God, and nothing, bro. Like I was watching, like when you watch TV, there's all these wacky people falling everywhere, So I was like, dude, I thought I was going to feel like a wind or, something.
Okay.
So I didn't know what was going on, bro. I didn't know nothing about God.
Yeah.
So what I did, I said, hey, God, I go, okay. That's why I thought God rejected me. I thought because all the stuff I did in my life, all the stuff I've done, bro, I thought he just rejected me. So I go, you know what, God? It's cool. It's cool, man. You reject me? That's cool. You're going to send me to hell, but I'm going to serve you. See, I didn't know nothing, bro. So basically, I go, I'm going to serve. So basically, my homeboy came back at the end of the day, and I told him, he walked in the cell. And mind you, this is my helper on the yard. And I basically go, hey, I gave my life to God. He goes, I knew you were, bro. I knew you were going to do it. I knew it. And so basically, in his mind, he's like, I ain't going to do it. I'm going to have to move out of the cell, right? This is a Christian guy now. So I got on my knees that night again, and I prayed to God again, right? And this time I just prayed, and I just said, God, I love you. My heart is yours, whatever. And I was talking, dude, and I can't explain this, bro. Dude, this warm feeling went from the top of my head all the way to the bottom of my feet, the biggest warm hug. And it's not that, and it never happened again, right? It never happened again. But I think God had to show me, for some reason, I am real, and I did hear you. And I know you're going to serve me. So basically, the next day, I get up and I go out to the yard, and now I have to deal with the yard, bro.
Yeah.
Deal with the yard. So now, but first, all these people, I have knives hidden on the yard. Those knives could be used. You're not. Imagine the leader becoming a Christian. How does that make the car look? Right? So you're like, okay, you're supposed to get killed. You're supposed to die. But I'm like, okay. So I go out there and I tell everybody. I tell the people from my car. I go, hey, that's it. I'm laying it down. That's it. One of them had a big problem with it, right?
Okay.
One of them had a big problem. Didn't say it to my face, but had a big problem. But also, remember I told you there was a guy from LA? This dude was a big dude who was a Christian, but he backslid. Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. Okay. So this dude from LA, I wish I remember his name, bro. I'm sure he's passed by now. He basically, like, good job. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, by him giving me a pass was like, wow. Okay. So later on, so basically I end up walking the yard, and then I would never, like, going PC never entered my mind, ever. Like, never entered my mind. I wasn't even tripping so much they were going to hit me. I started talking to the Christians more and more. Bro, so here I am, kind of the life of the party in prison. When I go sit down at chow hall, before I became a Christian, everybody sit with me, this and that. Now here I am going to the chow hall, and here's even my own homeboy from my neighborhood would pass by. I would be at the table by myself, would pass by me. They would say hi, but now it's like, man, But I knew enough to know that I have to stay strong because, God's real. So I have to be real. So these guys could see that there is an eternal, we're going to live somewhere eternally. I want them to see that light. So basically I was shunned for a little bit, but before you know it, bro, everybody that shunned me liked me again. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Even that vato that I called the shot on into a cell, liked me, bro. So basically, I walked the yard there, and here I had my Bible. I had my Bible, bro. I would walk on the yard, proud with it, and so later on, I would find out that there was a vato from Anaheim, Boys in the Hood. You know, we didn't really get along, even when I was in charge, and he wanted to basically, he was planning to stab me. He was planning to stab me. You know, he was planning. I didn't find out till I got out.
For that reason, or
For that reason. For that reason.
Okay.
That's a big reason in there, bro.
Okay.
That's a big reason. Like, it made them look dumb, I guess, to them, you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, my homeboy from my, but God used my homeboy from my neighborhood to tell him, hey, man, he wants to be Christian. Let him alone. Let him alone. So now, as it's getting time, it's time to get released. And, you know, this is Corcoran at the time. Manson was there. Sirhan was there, the guy who killed Kennedy. Joe Morgan had just died there. Just a lot of famous stuff happening at that time. So now it's time for me to get released. And am I the real deal? Or am I one of those fake guys that just uses God when they're scared?
Hey, real quick, Paul, real quick. When you gave your life to the Lord, about how much time did you have left for your release date?
Probably about a year and a half.
Okay.
A year and a half, maybe, something like that. I guess. I'm thinking back, bro, because I got out about 95. So I think I got the Lord in 90. Yeah, it had to be 93, June 20th, 93.
Okay.
So now, am I one of those fake guys that uses Christianity while they're in jail?
Yeah.
And I'm talking to myself, or am I one of these guys that picked up the Bible because they were scared? But remember, there was nothing going on in the yard, bro.
Right.
Like, no one that could say he did it at a time of war, scared. No one was after me. You know what I mean? No, kites dropped on me, but no one was after me. So basically, I get released, right? Get released, and then I make it back to LA, and basically I get to my house, and the first thing I did is I was very aware of that. How many people had used God, went out there, started using dope again, or doing whatever right back in. So what I did that night, before I even seen my family, I went to church. It was a Spanish church, bro. I didn't know nothing about church, right? I was like, oh, let's go to that one, right? It was by the hamburger stand down the street. I'm like, okay. I went in there, and there was a guy who was a Chicano. And what's funny is I had shot up his house before. I shot up his house, but because of his brother, but not because of him. And he didn't know that. He don't know that to this day. And he started taking me to English church and just discipling me and helping me grow. So basically, to make a long story short, there's been hurdles along the way. So about 1995, I got released, and my old mobster friends, I'm talking the big guys. When I would see them at funerals and stuff like that. Man, they all pretty much just, hey, go for it, like do your thing, like whatever. Like no one never really got flack for it, But when I did get out, and this is for all you guys watching from my hood, a sad part, when I remember when in the cell, when I got down and I basically gave my life to God, I wrote the homeboys a letter, right? My homies, on the streets. Okay. I wrote them letters, and on these letters I said, hey, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with the hood. I'm not, I'm serving God now. But in other words, I had to make a statement that this is who I am now. This is real. To me, it was real. And so I sent them all a letter and this and that. And when I got out, I seen them all. There was like probably about 60 of them playing football. I seen them. I walked up to them, because I was driving by with my dad, and my dad was going to pick up rent at some house. And I walked up to them, and not one talked to me. Not one of them talked to me. So all you fools out there that, I say this now because now all of them talk to me.
Okay.
Even so, because they didn't know, because they were deep in the mix right then. That was the days of the mob meetings. They were deep, bro, into that. We had mobsters living in our neighborhood. You know what I mean? There was just so much going on, bro. And so basically, they got to see it. This is the guy. He put in his work. He never turned. He never snitched. He never went PC. He walked the yard. Like he made us proud in that world. Right. Which doesn't mean nothing in God's thing. So I basically got out, yeah, and basically like all the homies, like we all have, I think they all have love for me, and a lot of them come to my channel. They're there. Once in a while, you'll see them in the comments, and they'll say something and this and that, they know my life story, and so to the cop, and I say that because I know there's probably FBI watching, of course, and they much props to you guys who do your jobs. So basically, bro, when I gave my life to God in prison, I forgave that cop, bro. I forgave that cop. I forgave that cop. And let me tell you why. Because what the enemy, or say the cops, what they meant for evil, God meant for good. If God had never allowed that to happen, bro, I would have never changed. I would have been in prison. I would have been dead, bro. So he allowed that to happen to get my attention, threw me up there in Corcoran, locked me down so I could find him. And that's why I knew it wasn't so much the cop. It was the cop allowed it because I was a knucklehead. I mean, God allowed it because I was a knucklehead. So I had to go there. And trust me, I've gotten away with so much. So much. I should be doing life after life after life, bro. But this guy, man, so that's what happened right there. I forgave the cop, and I hold nothing against that cop because I know that was part of my journey. So it's been about 25 years, bro, that I've been walking with God. And some of you who watch my channel, like I ain't out there like once in a while I'll preach, but I ain't out there like overbearing, man, because hopefully people will see my life and go, hey, this guy's a real deal. He's not, he's not religious. He just loves God, and he's not ashamed. He's not ashamed to share or talk about him on his channel. He's not, and that's why I hope other people, like on their channels, like if you believe in God, like don't be ashamed of him, bro. There's one day, you know why? Let me tell you two things. Let me get preachy for a minute, Cholo, if you don't mind.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, handle yours, man.
This is what I'm saying. If the Bible says, if you confess me before man, I'll confess you before my Father in heaven. If you deny me before man, I'll deny you before my Father in heaven. So the Bible says, that's Jesus talking. If you're ashamed of him, he's going to be ashamed of you in that day. So yeah, man. So I try not to live a hypocritical life. I try to just be me. I try to stay in my lane. And that's what I do, man. And that's kind of my story in a nutshell. There's so much more, bro. So much more. And that's just the little cliff notes. Is that what they call it?
Cliff notes. One thing that you said right there when you were talking about your homeboys were playing football and none of them talked to you at that time, but later on, it kind of reminds me of Pastor David Rocha. I remember him saying, when he got out and he started his church and he started to, once he became a pastor, he had a couple of his old homeboys that would go to the church. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, we're here to support, the homeboy, right? Sir Dino and all. And after a while, they realized like it's not Sir Dino anymore. Like he's a real pastor.
Yeah.
And little by little, they'd stop going to the church, and they're like, "Okay, he's the real deal. We gotta let him do him." So
yeah.
So now, it all comes in circle because you get the respect for it because you walk your talk. It's not this fakeness that we do see in some other cases, man, which is sad. It is sad, man. And knowing you, Paul, the infamous story of the cop, man, it always makes me laugh, man. Whenever you talk to me about that story.
There's more to that story, bro. I'll share it another time, but just people don't think that setups could happen by the cops, but this one happened, and it worked out for my good because I wouldn't be here, man. And I got to meet you and Sonny and all these other people, man. And you know what's cool, bro?
What's that?
You know what's cool is all these years I did in prison, bro, starting when I was really young, I would always be in prison saying, "Hey, I want to get out. I want to get out, and I want to see a Christmas."
Mm.
I didn't see a Christmas, bro, for so many years. Christmas I loved. I remember just good memories as a kid. So man, 13, no Christmas, 14, no Christmas, 15, no Christmas, 16, no Christmas. Just going all the way into my 20s, right? I would always, like, even if I was getting out, like that time I always did out 3 days, I think I got out like in November. I was like, all right, I'm finally gonna make a Christmas. And I was busted 3 days later, bro.
Yeah.
But now, man, it was beautiful. Once I got released in '95, to be able to do to be able to do that, and then going to church, bro. This is what I did, and this is something that I'm gonna blow you guys away. I know
You go out karaoke?
Huh?
You go out no, not karaoke. You go out caroling. You go out caroling house to
I
house.
have, bro. I have.
Have you?
I
Okay.
have with the church though. I can't
Okay.
sing, bro. I can't sing. But trip on this, bro. So this is something that's gonna blow you away. This is something that I've never shared on my testimony. Okay, so I get out from prison. I don't know. I'm 27 or something like that. 27. And you know what? So right away, I just don't start dating, right? So you've been out, like I'm a Christian now, right? So it's 1995. So I'm waiting around, and the ideal thing, what I normally would have done, I would have went to the hood or found some girls and fulfilled my supposed needs. But you know what? I said, I'm gonna wait for God to bring me my wife. That's what I did. I'm gonna wait for God to bring me my wife. Anybody could go out there and get anybody, but I want to wait for God to bring me my wife, bro. I waited about 15 years, bro.
Wow.
15 years. No sex, no nothing, no cheating, no. Okay. You know what? And so I'm reading my Bible and it's keeping my mind occupied, bro. Right.
Okay.
And I'm also involved at church. And so finally, dude, as I'm doing an outreach in Las Vegas, going to reach out, we used to go reach out to, to the homeless or whatever, bro. Some girl who came with our team from Norwalk, comes in, and she was single, and we happened to meet there, and then we got married, and there was no messing around until we got married, bro. Until we got married. Until we got now. Obviously, I wasn't a virgin or nothing, but
yeah.
Got married. I waited till we got married, and then God gave me my first daughter. I wanted to do it His way, bro, because I didn't like it for so many years.
Oh, House, stop, House. House is a troll, Holmes. Look, hey, but you know what though, man? I will say this. There was this young couple, and I don't see this guy anymore. I didn't know the couple. I just knew the guy, and he said he was a virgin and that his girlfriend was a virgin. I remember he was so excited to get married and everything, and they're like he was like in his late 20s, and I'm like, man, you know what? That's something to really be respected and admired, man, because that doesn't happen. Yeah. He's all like, yeah, man, we're both virgins and we're waiting till we get married. And I don't know, you must have been like 28 years old. And I'm like, man, you know what? Check this out. I highly respect and admire that, man. I really do, because you're actually gonna share that, with the person that you're sharing your life with. Nobody else has been able to share that with you, or you didn't allow it. You saved yourself for that person, man. And I think that just kind of that's just kind of thrown away today. Because it's everywhere now, man. Well, it's been everywhere for quite a while, and I think we need to bring a little bit of that back.
Yeah, man. Well, if God is real, which I believe He is, if He is real, man, serve Him all the way. I'm going to serve Him all the way, bro. It's just like, why am I going to go in there and it's like, be a Christian and get out of jail and just sleep around? If God, read His Bible, God said God brought one woman for the guy, and I'll wait till God brings me the right one. Dude, I have a beautiful wife, beautiful child. I'm not rich, but I'm okay. And I've gotten since then. I've gotten to go to school. I've gotten scholarships, and just a bunch of stuff, man. I've been blessed. I made movies, and I'm trying to reach people in different ways. I'm really involved in my church, so I try to live the life, but I'm not so much preaching it every day. I'm not
Right.
preaching it, but hopefully, I'm only sharing right now a lot of stuff because you ask, and hopefully people will see, hey man, they'll know a little bit more about me and why maybe I stray away from certain things on my channel. Um,
the crazy thing, and the reason why I want to bring you on, Paul, and talk about this, man, because I don't think a lot of people know this about you. They're like, oh yeah, I guess he used to be a gang banger or whatever, gang member, whatever, back in the day, changed his life, blah blah blah. But they don't really know the details, man, how deep you were, and how up there you were, and hanging around with some heavy hitters in that world. And what's crazy about it is you would never know that just knowing you, Paul. I've hung out with you in person. We've gone to a wrestling event, man. I've met your wife, your daughter. I would never know that if I didn't know you. If I had just met you, I'm like, this fool ain't been nowhere, dog. He ain't. I would never know that. But you know what? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I had the opportunity to hang out with Kilroy. You made the movie on Kilroy. I actually hung out with him, sat down, had a good conversation with the man, and I'm like, damn, man, like this vato was big time. And I'm telling you, Paul, sweetest man, just a sweet soul. I mean, just shook the man's hand, looked me in the eyes, man, and I could just see a just good, righteous man. And you would never guess, if nobody knew who he was, if I didn't know who he was, you would never guess that vato was a straight killer.
Yeah.
I would have never known. I knew who he was, right? I'm like, to me at that time, I'm like, man, this guy's like a celebrity, kind of like a hero to me, right? But if nobody knew who he was, you would never know that this dude was a killer, man. He's just the sweetest, righteous man, and I always respect that. I definitely take that in, and I'm
And
like,
you know what? And you know what's the cool thing about him? I thought I had a testimony until I heard his testimony. That guy has a testimony, bro. But you know what's cool, bro? We talked about testimony, but even those people who've never gone through the gang life, who just lived a good life and whatever, they're the ones. I mean, they have the best story. They never went the way we did. They didn't go into the gang life, and it's cool. So for me, bro, in summation of all this, like, I think, like, I've studied a lot, bro, before I became a Christian. Years. I was trying to find what's the purpose of life, what's the meaning of life, and in all my years, this is what I found. The meaning of life is to find and worship our Creator, bro. That's it. And I know some people who don't believe in God, and that's okay, because all this can't, scientifically, all this can't come from nothing. There has to be an eternal being who created it, right? I even studied atheism and Gnosticism. But all I'm saying is, bro, is that I think that's the purpose in life, is to worship God, bro. Worship God, and to find out, because if God is real, right? If he's real, Cholo, and I know you go to church, bro, and I know that people might not want to hear this, but if God is real and the God of the Bible is real, if Jesus Christ is real, he said there's no other way to heaven than through him. And, if he's real, like, people can say all roads lead to God, but,
yeah,
no, but all roads, you will stand before God, but you may not hear what you want. So my thing is just search out. You don't have to take my word. Search out God, search out, read the Bible and search for yourself, man, and break it down like I did. I studied. The first thing that got me into it was Dianetics and all that stuff. I started reading all about that, Jehovah Witnesses, Islam, and it wasn't it. I studied everything before the Bible, bro. I'm talking everything, dude. So basically it came down, and all respect to everybody, but I think the most important thing, the purpose in life, is to find God and worship him, man. That's it. And I know, like, my channel, you know, it takes hits because of that. Because, you know, who wants the religious guy on, the Christian guy? You know, I know we're friends, and Sonny and Joe, we're all friends, you know, but
Yeah.
we all believe in God, you know, we all believe in
Uh-huh.
God, but you know, it's one of those
Some
things.
walk a little differently than others, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say you, Paul, you walk your talk, man. Just, I mean,
I try, bro. I blow it.
I could definitely see it. CMZ is asking you to plug your email if you can, brother.
Yeah, go to Kilroy the movie on Instagram. Kilroy the movie. Kilroy, Kilroy the movie on Instagram. On Instagram and inbox there, because my email, bro, I never check it, bro. Never check it unless I'm getting a link to come on the show. I never check it, but yeah, please do that, man. And CMZ, I love to talk to you. Love to talk to you. As long as your name's not Mr. Oldies.
And he's on here too. Joe, yeah, look, man. I mean, there's all kinds of yeah, I was telling Pastor David about this too, man. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons, bad apples all over the place for in any whatever groups or whatever it may be, and it's unfortunate because so many people can go ahead, point fingers, and judge on that and be like, well, that's how they are, or that's how them, and you know, things like that. So, but I would just say this, man, before we end it, to just everybody, right?
Can I answer that question real quick?
Yes.
Just most people I know that go to church, bro, they're not. I don't think they're running from nothing. And people always say people go to, they always find God in prison. They don't, bro. Most people do not find God in prison, bro. Most people.
Absolutely.
That's just a saying, bro.
Yes.
That's just saying. And for any of you out there, like, go to church because they're scared, bro. There's nothing to be scared of. My homies, they come on my channel. You could ask any of them when they pop up. You go to my hood and ask any of them, and I could go to my hood anytime, anywhere, and talk to everyone. You know, anyone. I'm welcome. I'm welcome in my old hood, and so that doesn't go for everybody. That's all I'm saying. That's not bragging. That's just God's favor. That's just God's favor. I've even gone to my enemies that I had shootings, and I've gone to their hoods and I've told them about God and I've shook their hands. So
I would definitely say that, Paul. There's that old saying, right? It's like, oh man, everyone finds God when they're locked up. No, they do not, man. No, they do not. Most people that get locked up do not find God, man, by far. And I'll just kind of leave it with this, man. You know, whether you believe or don't believe, or believe in something else, whatever it may be, man, it's all good and, you know,
yeah,
gravy, dog. I never, just like you, Paul, I never try to put it out there like that. Nor do I even, you know, there's things I got to work on myself, man. All I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say is this: one more day that you live is one more day closer to your death. So, you know, when you're blessed to have another day, you're also one day closer to your last day, and nobody knows when that is. So, just a little food for thought. That's about it, man. But we all have that in common. We all one day will pass away, man. So that's that. Paul, any last words, Governor, before you get out of here?
no, I just want to thank everybody for hearing, because I usually don't get that deep into the things. But if you guys ever want to talk to me about God, go on my channel. I'll talk to them. Or go on Kilroy the movie on Instagram. I'll talk to you there. But you won't hear me preaching too much. But I do like, when I have interviews on, I will put on people. Like a lot of people, if they talk about God, they'll exclude them. They won't have them in interviews. I will. You know, I will have them on my channel, and I'm not gonna hide. And yeah, man, I just want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you, Cholo, for having me. And again, man, just keep following what me and Cholo and Sonny and Joe are doing, man. We got some things planned. So following, especially Wrestling Rehab, you know.
Yeah, catch us on Wrestling Rehab, man. We're doing our thing over there. So with that, familia, gracias for tapping in. We'll end it right there. As always, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings and always keep it safe. This is blood makes you live, but loyalty makes you family. Until next time, this is at the Thecholotrucker for my hermano, my brother, one Mr. Pablo from LA Times. Over and out.